Right, we're at Newlands in Cape Town. We're going to look ahead to the South Africa-India test match. First test that kicks off on Jan 5. Darryl Cullinan with me. We got a word with the groundsman. We've seen a bit of the pitch, whatever we could. Now tell me, how would you go about with your playing 11s? Let's start with India. How many bowlers for you?
Well, I would go with 5 and the spinner. You know, there's always been the case with Asian sides in particular have come to South Africa and all the talk of the bounce and the pace, they've gone the extra batsman and gone a seamer light, and invariably that hasn't worked for them. The sort of role a spinner would be able to play, well, ideally what you want is for him to do a holding job and then rotate the quicks on from the other end, short, sharp, quick spells. But then who do India select in that lineup of paces?
Well, that's the big one. Now you're saying you want 5 bowlers, a proper 5-bowler theory. Virat Kohli is a big fan of it. Question is, will he try it overseas on the start of a big test? But you want to see 5 bowlers, I'm assuming 4 quicks and 1 spinner.
Well, it's a big move. It's a brave move. But, you know, he talks a lot about their batting, and it's a top Indian batting lineup. Back your top 5. You've got Saha, who's got test hundreds already. He can come in at 6. It's just comforting for a bowler, you know, that you know you've got that backup. Because if it starts to go wrong with one of your seamers, and the question too then is, if you've got Ashwin to bowl, how good is he when there's nothing much in the pitch? Does he have the patience? Can he tie and end up? And then that workload, and here in Cape Town where we expect, you know, both sides are playing to potential a full 5 days of cricket. Then you've got, you know, 2 tests to follow. I'd like to see him say, right, we've got the pace, we talk about it, short and sharp. We've got a spinner who can bowl in all sort of match situations, but importantly with that sort of setup, your batters have to do the job. And invariably when you say give the batters the full responsibility, going with the batsman light, you often see them get the runs, but that's the confidence that I'd like to see from Kohli in this, not only in this match but this series.
Okay, now if we are to pick from the fast bowlers, if you say you're going to play 4 seamers, that's a big one. I'm assuming Shami makes the case for himself. Ishant Sharma with the bounce. Then there's a question: Umesh, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, or the uncapped Jasprit Bumrah?
I like Bumrah. What I've seen of him, look, he hasn't obviously played Test cricket. I've watched him play in India. He's a guy that hits the deck hard. And I think that's the sort of bowler you want in South African conditions. He's an honest, he's a hard worker. Because there may be times, and particularly at Newlands, where there's nothing much happening. So you need to change it up with a bowling 2 lengths and be aggressive. Yadav, we know, has got pace, but misguided pace will go here. You know, South African batsmen, see, I don't think the South African batsmen are going to be too troubled or give too much thought to the Indian pace attack. Not out of disrespect. I think the thoughts would be, how good will Ashwin be? And then, you know, Jadeja might even play, but both might play. We'll have to wait and see.
Okay, let's talk about South Africa now and try and pick their 11s. It's hard work, Darryl Cullinan all the time. Otis Gibson has hinted that Dale Steyn may not be ready. Does that pick the team on its own for you?
It probably does. You know, Dale unfortunately never got to play in Zimbabwe. Out in the middle with domestic cricket, T20 cricket, he's probably bowled, I think, in the region of about 20, 25 overs in 2 months. A start of a series, first up here, do you go in with him? Well, then we to the second test. Does Steyn play at all? Question marks around Morkel. Look, he's coming back. He bowled well against Zimbabwe, well within himself. But the givens are Rabada. Philander will play. Peshawar, will he play? Well, we'll have to kind of wait and see. But balancing South Africa's side around, you know, their transformation goals is also a big challenge as such. Personally, if you're going to play Dale Steyn, now's the time. Let's end the wait. Let's get him out there and see if he's up for it. Can he go into Test cricket full pace? Because if he sits out again, well, then where does it actually leave South Africa and what is he doing here? If he's not ready now, he's not ready.
But to be fair, Darryl, they can afford to not rush Steyn back. Morkel's bowling well, and they have 3 seamers other than that.
It's his wicket-taking abilities and the very fact that, you know, if Dale, the talk is that he's fit and that he's strong, he's bowling well in nets, you want to get him. I mean, he's a great, let's be honest, he's one of the greatest ever. So if he's available to play, you've got to get him in here because South Africa need to play good cricket. You know, they can't die wondering here. Yes, there's a bigger picture, Australia to follow this and that and whatever, but you've got to get him in. I think you've got to get him in. If he's fit to play, he's got to play, and then you build your side around, your pace attack around that. I don't think it's a question of staying fitting into it. It's right, Dale's fit with Kagiso, Rabada, Morne is the backup, you've got Vernon Philander there. Those are the 4 fit, in terms of pace bowlers. That's what South Africa ideally want on the field.
Right. Thanks very much, Darryl Cullinan. Now, it's your guess as to who the both captains pick finally come this Friday.